Welcome to the Reddit library. Today, we'll be looking at r/AskReddit, where the user Maudib asked the question, what do the rich buy that the poor don't even know is available for purchase? You can rent celebrities for your private events, not just musicians, but bona fide actors and actresses. Super rich guy in Bel Air used to host his kid's birthday party in late October, so they went all out for a Halloween-themed party. Everyone at the kid's school was invited, plus their own friends. Each year, they'd hired some fantastic athlete to appear at the event. One year it was Tony Hawk, another year it was some Olympic gold medal gymnastic winners. The one that threw me was when they hired Demi Moore, Anthony Kiedis, and Benicio del Toro to be guests at the party, to hang out and pretend they were friends with the kid. Mind you, this was a kid's Halloween party, set outside in a huge, massive garden, spread out over tennis courts, lawns, with games, buffets, dessert tables, taco stands, omelet stands, barbecue, pizza, burgers, etc. No booze, no one allowed inside. All the event staff were dressed in Halloween costumes. It was very cool. But it was sad to see Kiedis and del Toro sitting together commiserating. You could see the things we do for a paycheck look on their face. They were at a kid's party. Demi was very nice. She brought her little doggies. Yeah, my heart bleeds for these two millionaires who can command thousands of dollars just to be glorified entertainers at a kid's party. A while back, some guy on here was talking about his experience working as a sort of personnel manager for a billionaire and how things are just wildly different for them. The specific example he used was how things work when these people want to go on a trip and give any notice at all to their employees. What happens is that an advanced team gets sent ahead by a few days to scope out the rented, bought location and report back exact dimensions for closet space, drawer space, etc. People back at the home go through the clothing, jewelry, etc. and draw up a priority list which is sent to the advanced team. The advanced team then spends the next 2 days purchasing the list of items, entire wardrobes, jewelry sets, makeup kits, bathing supplies, etc. Anything they cannot get. Not enough time, or is one of a kind like the family heirloom watch the rich dude wears every now and then, is relayed to the house team. The family schedule is arranged such that the moment the family leaves the house on the day of travel, a whole team of people rushes through and packs up all the remaining items. Only after the family leaves, you wouldn't want to deny them access to their items for even a few seconds, which are then sent ahead to the airport while the family has lunch or something somewhere. Upon landing, their luggage takes one route, direct, and the family takes a similar indirect route, unless otherwise directed, such that by the time they get to the location, all of their items are not just unpacked, but in their proper organized locations and ready to use without any of the advanced team ever being visible to the family. What happens when the family leaves the location? The same situation in reverse. But quite frequently, all of the repurchased items are just disposed of in some method. It's just easier, if not cheaper, to rebuy them each time the family goes somewhere if they aren't traveling to too many different locations in quick succession. This is some Pharaohs of Egypt level crud. How are these billionaires even functional people when literally everything is done for them in life? Will Smith recently said in an interview that Oprah has been famous and wealthy for so long that she just forgets about the simplest things because she's used to her minders taking care of things like carrying her coffee. Will Smith then mentioned that he once saw Obama fetch some food for Oprah. A person to go to jail for you in your stead. This is a known phenomenon in Latin America, but I imagine it happens in other places as well. Certainly amongst the Yakuza it happens. I knew a guy who did 8 years for his boss and got paid. Hey man, my family is one medium accident or bad event away from completely imploding. If push came to shove, I'd serve time to make sure everyone else stays afloat. I don't see it on here, but the vast majority of financial products are out of reach for all but the rich. One reason the rich get richer is that they have access to investments that we've never heard of. Ever see The Big Short? Why do you think Goldman Sachs took a week to correctly price Dr. Michael Burry's housing short position? Because they were securing that position for themselves and their clients. Those financial instruments are so complicated and the regulation on them so Byzantine that it wouldn't surprise me if Goldman actually didn't do anything illegal, like they're allowed, at their discretion, to misprice an asset for a certain period of time. Probably under the guise of the asset being complicated to price, but really it's just a buffer for them to get an edge that regular people couldn't believe. Imagine going to a horse race and being able to bet on the horses near the end of the race. Rich people get that. Private banks. Rich people use banks like Chase, but they don't bank through regular branches. Instead, they use Chase private banking. They never wait on hold for a banker to pick up the phone. They get same-day access to their deposits, lines of credit, etc. Deposit $3 million into your checking account, you'll get a call from your bank's private banking group. Private boarding gate at certain airports, complete with showers, a spa, full bar, lounge, food, a bed, gym, sauna, etc. Total privacy. Your luggage is scanned and taken through security by a concierge, and you're driven to the plane in a BMW 8 Series. LAX has them now. Hello, yes, I would like to order some wealthiness just so I can have access to the private boarding gate. Yes, I'll hold. Thank you. ETA. Shut up, you guys. I'm on the phone. And thanks for the silver and the chuckles. Fran, this guy doesn't even have enough money to have someone else call for him. Just leave him on hold for an hour. I had a buddy who hired a driver, got him to get a chauffeur's license, and then made sure his Jaguar was long enough to meet criteria as a limo, and then he could legally drink in the back seat. When I traveled with him internationally, someone met us at the door when we were dropped off, and they walked us to our plane. None of that customs security stuff occurred. In Iowa, your vehicle doesn't have to meet length requirements. My husband worked with a guy whose wife got her chauffeur's license so he could drink in the back seat of their sedan. True love right here. True Iowa right there. Everyone knows about mega yachts, but the very rich also enjoy their own trains, or at the very least, private super luxurious train cars. With their budgets, it isn't expensive to rent space on freight lines and an engine, assuming they don't own their own. Sometimes a group of friends will hook their private cars together and motor around a continent having a big party. Now I'm imagining some fat cat in his luxury train car between a bunch of loads of coal and some hobos in an empty boxcar. Mr. Burns. This could take a good while. Why don't you get drunk and stumble around comically for my amusement? Smithers. I will be a one-man conga line, sir. Pet cloning. Ex-boss was getting his dog cloned for $100,000. Oh, I've heard of this. There's a company in Texas that does it kind of regularly, apparently now. $25,000 for a cat, $50,000 for a dog. It's something like a $1,000 to $2,000 deposit just for them to send your vet the kit to obtain biosamples and to store the material. You pay the rest of it whenever you're ready to clone your critter. Edit. The company is called Biogen if anyone's curious. Thank you, user relative scale. See, I just don't get this. Had a friend whose super wealthy parents did this. Guess what? Different temperament and everything, because it's still its own animal. They thought they were getting another one of their precious snuggle baby, and this one hates to snuggle and gets into everything mischievous. No thanks. I'll always adopt. Best dogs I've ever had have been from adoptions. Poor people. This is basically how Dubai was built almost overnight. Specialized household staff. When someone is truly mega rich, running their household takes the same complexity as running a small to mid-sized company, and management is skilled and compensated accordingly. Don't think butler, think head of operations at a luxury hotel. The staff that household managers oversee can be really specialized as well. For example, Larry Ellison has his own personal curator to oversee his collection of Asian art. They do things like advise on the purchase and sale of art in his collection, oversee storage and display of art housed on his property, oversee process of lending art for storage and display at museums. The curator will often have their own staff to conduct actual conversation work, art transport, art installation, etc. So if you already got an in-house crew of 7 people focused on your art collection alone, imagine how big your entire household staff is. That's why you've got a household manager. Just here to say that this is very accurate, and I have done consultation work for someone in this position in Canada. The home had more contemporary art per square inch than the MoMA. I asked the woman who ran the household if she had a favorite work from the very impressive collection. She told me deadpan, "Oh no, I hate contemporary art." Something they do that most people don't know about is buy entire libraries at once. My sister used to work at a bookstore and told me someone came in and wanted to furnish their library with a library-sized purchase of books. They just wanted to cherry-pick the bestsellers left to the discretion of the people working there. It sounded wild. Edit. This place is a wealth of knowledge, and I'm here for it. Had no idea you could buy books by the foot. What a bizarre idea. Some wealthy people also buy books as decoration, with no intent of reading most of them. They buy books from wholesalers by the linear foot, specifying how the books look on the shelves, size, color, material of spine, etc., without any regard for what the books actually are. They just need to fill wall space in library office rooms in their homes. Private performances with big-name artists. I was on a yacht in the Virgin Islands, and some mega yacht owner pretty close to us had Christina Aguilera flown in to perform for his guests on the mega yacht. We were close enough to see the performance, not close enough to pretend to be a part of the party. I saw an interview with Penn from Penn & Teller talk about doing a private show on a yacht for one of the Microsoft guys. They paid to shut down their Vegas show for a week, flew Penn & Teller and their crew to Asia, put them up for a week on a luxury yacht, and had them do one show for their friends. There was a couple of big name bands on this cruise as well. Landing 747s in small airports. I grew up around Lexington, Kentucky. The region is huge on horses, particularly thoroughbred horses. The entire city is surrounded by horse farms, and these farms breed some of the best racing horses in the world. The rich and famous will often come here to buy thoroughbreds to add to their breeding stock. One such person is a sheik from Dubai, I think, who owns his own private 747. Now, the local airport isn't rated for 747s, and it's not legal to land one there unless it's an emergency. The sheik doesn't care though, and lands his 747 there anyways. The airport fines him every time he does this, which he is totally fine with paying. I've been told that many of the upgrades to the airport over the years were almost entirely funded with the money from those fines. In London, rich people figured out it was cheaper to just park on the streets illegally and just pay the fines every day than to pay for parking in the city. So the city started clamping cars. So the rich people started paying people to go and pay the fine for the car to be unclamped before they wanted to leave. A billionaire spending $50,000 a night every day of the week for an entire year is about the same ratio as a guy with $1,000 in the bank spending $18 over the course of a year, or 20 cents a night. Edit. 73 over a year. Sorry, I was slightly intoxicated and tired when I wrote that. Point still stands though. This is what brought this into perspective for me. Do you have anything to add to the list? Let us know in the comments below and you might have a chance to be featured in an upcoming video. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button for more videos from the library, and as always, thank you for watching.